Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Music Mondays. Happy motherfucking Monday. I hope you're well. Let's get it. This is episode 91 of the Music Mondays podcast. What's going down? Today is Monday the 17th. We got some updates for you guys. We got some content being cooked in the background for Music Mondays. Lots of good submissions. Lots of good stuff coming up. So let's get into it. Mark, what's good? Pop Witch, what's good? Welcome. Happy Monday. I hope you're well. Everybody else in the chat, I hope you're well. So, you guys know the drill, man. Let's talk updates. So, Music Mondays episode 90 is available on all platforms. If you missed last week's episode live, or you're wondering where you can find it, it is available everywhere. You can go check that out on our YouTube at All Music Mondays, or just search Music Mondays on YouTube, or it is available on all audio platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, I think a couple others as well. But yeah, Music Mondays episode 90 is available everywhere. Huge shout out to everybody that watched, and huge shout out to everybody that submitted, man. That was a banger. That was a more like longer episode, man. Episode 90 was not really like a cool milestone, but I think that show was like it was like almost 4 hours, man. Like that was a banger show for sure. Lots of good stuff on there, visuals, art, single tracks, good stuff there. A brand new Music Mondays YouTube upload is available as well. You can check that out on our channel. It's just a short segment talking about basically pushing your ceiling as an artist, trying new things, trying new sounds, trying new genres. Yeah, you know, we're really killing it on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, and that's definitely something you want to pay attention to in regards to what we have planned in the Music Mondays future. So if you haven't seen that upload, make sure you go check that out on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. We are, I think, like 6 away from 70 subscribers. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have, thank you. Go show some love to the new uploads, man. Underground Classics Volume 3 is available on our SoundCloud. Underground Classics, if you don't know what that is, you're about to find out. Underground Classics is a monthly playlist that I came up with not too long ago. It's exclusively curated by Music Monday staff members, so we don't outsource for it. We don't really take submissions for this playlist. This playlist is a bit different from our usual SoundCloud Sundays. Underground Classics consists of underground tracks chosen by the Music Monday staff team that really got them into the underground, tracks that really influenced them, tracks that they listen to still today. Basically a playlist to remind you of the underground's foundation, underground classics, and underground favorites, man. So Underground Classics Volume 3 is available on our SoundCloud. Make sure you go check that out and show that some love as well. And this month's was actually curated by Sunset. Our first edition was curated by Ray Lowe. Volume 2 was curated by Dr. Freon, and Volume 3, which is this month's, was curated by Sunset. So make sure you go check that out. Lots of bangers on there. It's got shit from like Uno, like old ass Yeet. Like there's some shit that dude, I was putting that playlist together and I was like, holy shit. So it's definitely like a blast from the past kind of playlist, man. So definitely go check those out if you haven't already. The Music Mondays homepage is constantly being updated and worked on. We're in the middle of remodeling and maintenance. Basically, when our new content pieces drop, You'll see a bit of changes going down on the Music Mondays homepage. So make sure you stay posted and keep checking the Music Mondays homepage, man, because lots of fun stuff is coming there. SoundCloud Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday Volume 52 is available on our SoundCloud as well. That dropped yesterday. Another really, really long playlist filled with the latest and greatest drops from the underground. Like, truly, not only have our curators been really killing it, but our submissions have been really good, and everybody's just been dropping consistently, right? So SoundCloud Sunday has really been able to flourish because of that, and we can really put everybody's drops in one place, right? So SoundCloud Sunday Volume 52 is available on our SoundCloud. Make sure you go check that out. Go show that some love as well. This week, that was curated by myself, Water, and Ivica. Once again, another banger. They're actually starting to get a bit longer, which is good. Nice long playlist to shuffle through. Because, of course, creators listen to them, but we do have a lot of supporters that enjoy SoundCloud Sunday. So make sure you show SoundCloud Sunday to your homies. Make sure you show SoundCloud Sunday to anybody that's interested in playlists, right? Put them on, because there's still people out there that always talk about how there's no good music, they can't find music, yada yada yada. So SoundCloud Sunday is a really good way to show people what's going down in the underground scene in 2022. So definitely go check that out if you haven't already. So, I think that just about does it for weekly updates. Later on this month, we have a lot of really, really important stuff coming. Pretty much this week and the next week of October, the last 2 weeks, we have a lot of special projects coming that the staff has been working tirelessly on. So if you're not already, make sure you follow Music Mondays on all platforms, at All Music Mondays. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, things like that, because we have a lot of stuff coming for the end of October. So by the time episode 92 is live, so probably by next week, I'll have a lot of updates for you, and a lot of things will be live on the Music Monday socials. So stay tuned for that. Now, like I said, I have a couple of topics that we can touch on. I have a few talking points that I really wanted to discuss, but we have a decent amount of submissions this week. So I think we'll just roll right into submissions, and then as we go along, I think I'll touch on a few things. But let's get into it. So, you guys know the drill. If you don't, and you're wondering, Music Mondays, how do I submit to the podcast? Why do you curate on Twitter? This, that, and the third. You're about to find out right now. So, every week following the podcast, the following day, which is a Tuesday, because the podcast will be live on Mondays, our submission tweet goes live, and it'll be the same every Tuesday. Artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on 10/17/22 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/ZomPlays. If you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creation, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So same thing every week. If you see this tweet, it's probably the one for that week, but this will be pretty much a weekly thing, right? They'll go live every Tuesday after the show, and you pretty much just drop your links and portfolios below. And contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we react and review pretty much everything under the sun, from vocals, instrumentals, artwork, digital artwork, fashion, merchandise, YouTube edits, YouTube visuals, music videos, literally everything we've reacted to and reviewed on the Music Mondays podcast. So if you're an independent creator and you think that what you create deserves a little bit of love and a little bit of spotlight, and you would like us, me, in the Music Mondays chat to react to what you have going on, feel free to submit your work. So if you're watching this on YouTube, submissions are probably already live. If you're watching this on Twitch, submissions will be open tomorrow. Excuse me. So, many of you know that Music Mondays is a non-profit platform when it comes to submissions. We don't take any money for playlists, reviews, submissions, interviews, things of that nature. Yeah, we never have, we never will. That's just not how I've ever conducted myself in an underground media space, because I've been doing this for quite a while, and you know, that's just not how things are ran around here. So, like I said, we don't take any money for submissions or anything like that. So the only thing that we do ask here at the Music Mondays podcast, before you submit, just make sure you're following the Music Mondays Twitter, to not only help grow the platform, but to help show support to these artists that do submit every week and do wait every week for the Music Mondays podcast. And, you know, on top of it, the Music Mondays community is a place for everybody, right? It's not just for one person, or it's not just for Music Mondays, it's for everybody, right? So it really helps the Music Mondays community grow into a great place to help find, you know, new supporters, collaborators, people, you know, you can get commissions from, things like that. So that's the only thing that we do ask, is that you help grow the platform. And of course, submissions close a couple of hours before the show starts. So you have just about under a week or so to get your submissions in, about like 6.5 days or so. So, yeah, just be aware of that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's relatively self-explanatory, but if you're ever interested in getting a more detailed explanation, we have a YouTube tutorial available on our channel as well that goes a little bit more in depth on why we do curation like this and things like that. So definitely go check that out if you're more interested. And per usual, like I said before, we don't take any money for submissions or anything like that. So if you're ever interested in supporting Music Mondays or the podcast or this channel, the best ways you can do that are Twitch. You can stream us on YouTube, stream the podcast on Spotify, things like that. There's even a donation button on our Spotify page if you'd like to support the show that way. But that's pretty much it. If you're ever interested in supporting the show, that is how we do it. So that just about covers everything. And like I said, man, we have some crazy ass submissions tonight. So let's definitely hop right into this. But let's see what the chat's up to. Cole, what's good, baby? Welcome. Hope you're well. Happy Monday. You go learn today. Yeah, facts. Let's fucking go. Pop Witch, let's get it. Yeah. So that's that. Let's hop right into this. So, I believe our first submission, is a visual, and it's by Ivica, which is a obvious Music Monday staff member. So usually how we go through submissions under the tweet is we'll go through audio and then we'll go through everything with a visual and things like that. So we'll come back around to this submission, and then actually our first two are visuals. Our first three are visuals. Our first three. So low key, it looks like this is about to be like a fucking backwards night. Okay, so if that's the case then, and we have 3 audio tracks below these 3 visuals, so let's just go backwards. Yeah, because the rest is audio, and then J-Rod does not follow the Music Mondays podcast. So, you know, per usual, that's the only thing that we do ask before you submit to the show, is that you are following the Music Mondays homepage. mostly to give respect to everybody that, has submitted over the week and does consistently support the show. So if you're ever interested in getting your art reacted and reviewed too, that's the only thing that we do ask. And of course, if you're not following the page, you'll never know when the podcast is live. So it's like shit. So yeah, first three are visuals. So let's hop into our first audio submission, which is from none other than the homie Cole Gerard. And this fucking track right here, this is something like I purposely like avoided listening to as much as I could so we could get like a real pure reaction here on the show. But holy shit. So Cole has been absolutely killing it this year. Absolutely has been leveling up with pretty much everything that they've done. From mixing vocals, music videos, visuals, literally everything. Cole has just been leveling up like crazy. But this track they submitted this week is really one for the books. So the caption is, new track, stoked on this one, very thankful for everyone involved with this. Music video and all plats soon. And it's titled Coraline, but the lineup on this track is just, I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, dude, okay, so, for those of you who are listening on audio, we have a Cole Gerard track featuring King Mark, No Name Dread, and it's prod by Matt Rocks. So, this is pretty much a little bit of everything. And this is going to be really, really fucking crazy. First impressions of the cover art, I definitely love the palette. You have a little bit of analog aesthetic in there. Prod Matt Rocks. We'll have more thoughts as we dive into this track, but let's get into it. Cole Gerard, Coraline featuring King Mark and No Name Dread. I'm a rockstar. Stitched up green, but not pale skin. Cherry pie tastes good, stomach don't feel right. Thought that bitch was down, yeah, she caught in 115, but I can't find her. Someone fall, I'm dragging her. Trade bed buried her. Small pics, man, well, no lie. Weird trip, color Coraline. Floating in the wind, fucking saying he's borderline. When you say you love me, I feel like you lying. What's done, what's did, trees fall to silence. Shit's made, probably causing cancer out in Cali. Keep flipping the road, feel like so serious, supreme. Move like Dr. Doom, set up clothes, baby, I'm not in the mood. Bust down, I'ma put clothes, I like how she moves. They in my throat, she's a witch, that's a spell, how to go, ooh, ooh. Red eye, night fly, two-tone, black night, buttercream on the side, baby pie, super size, shawty look like Coraline, got these nights, baby look like a disguise, make me read between the lines, like she fine print, that's my bitch, seen the seats up in my foreign wind, might just crash it, hit the bar, I gotta ash it, don't know who I'm passing, got my homies in the back, we all know how they acting. Stitched up green, but nice, pale skin, cherry pie tastes good, stomach don't feel right. Saw that bitch was down, I guess she caught him. 15, but I can't find him. Someone found dragging. Bad belly. Small piece, man, world, no lie. Weird trick, color Coraline. Floating in the wind, fucking saying it's borderline. When you say you love me, I feel like you're lying. Why you lie to me, Coraline? Damn. What the fuck? I'm a rockstar. Nah, that is crazy. All three of you guys sound so fucking good on this. Love how this came out for real. Crazy collab. Dude, holy shit, man. Like, fuck. So, alright. Before I even gas this up, let's break this down. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals. We're gonna talk about the overall theme of Coraline. So, instrumentally, we have Matt Rocks, right? One thing that sticks out to me immediately is the melody. Matt's always been really, really notorious for having instrumentals that have these melodies that are so memorable and catchy and just very like they're like very bouncy but yet like almost in like a softer manner, and the drums really pick up the dirt and really make the grime of the track, right? And this instrumental is no different, so I feel like Matt definitely killed it. Makes it very solid. um that's something you can always count on with a Matt Rocks track. Whether it's produced by Matt, it has some Matt vocals, you can always count on a solid mix. So um that's definitely for sure. So instrumentally, definitely a solid choice by Cole, and well done by Matt, 100%. It's got this like very chill factor to it, and like I feel like everybody on this track really like benefited from that. Like it was one of those kind of like there wasn't too much going on in the beat that was very distracting, but it was still a bop, and it made you bounce a little bit. So well done, definitely well done instrumentally. Shining star for me though, definitely the melody, 100% for sure. Like I said, Matt definitely has those melodies that'll always stick around with you. Bouncy, catchy, memorable. Um, let's talk about vocals here. Now we have three Music Mondays veterans on this track here. Okay, and three artists that have been fucking killing it this year as well. By the way, so this is really cool to see, right? Like I feel like this was long overdue, but I'm glad it was done. Like this is a really really dope to see. Um, starting off with Cole, I feel like Cole laid a really great foundation for Mark and Dredd to be able to just like catch a vibe on this, right? Um, really made it easy for them to just smooth on through for sure. But one shining star for me from Cole on this is definitely the cadence and flow. I love the way that Cole kind of like just glided on this track. It was a very like groovy kind of like kind of feeling. You know what I mean? It's just like damn. So the flow and cadence definitely had a big part in that for me. So that's why I was a shining star, 100%. Writing's very solid. I feel like Cole's writing has always been solid, to be honest with you, and that's something we don't talk about enough here on the show is Cole's writing. We'll mention it sometimes often, but I feel like the writing was very solid here as well. But yeah, flows and cadence were great here. Now, let's talk about Mark, right? I feel like Mark really came fucking different on this track. Like really came fucking different on this track. And I think one of my favorite parts about Mark here is aside from the writing, definitely the mix. I like the mix here a lot. Whoever um yeah, mix and master Dread Cole. Okay, yeah, so there you go. I literally just read the description. So per usual, Cole did a really, really good job on the engineering here, 100%. But I really like Mark's vocals on this. Mark brings like a different taste, right? Because you have this kind of Cole bouncy, like very Paul Gerard flow where it's like in your face and like very melodic. And Mark comes in and brings that Mark kind of swag and just like lays down the fucking briefcase on the table and is like, all right, like I'm here to stay. And you get this little bit of like alternative pop vibe. It turns into like a little bit of like electronic club track. And then we get to Dread. And Dread really just tops it all off with the variety you can get in a track like this. And this is why we have that sort of unwritten rule we like to talk about here on the show where if you're gonna have features on your tracks, right? Um, it's so nice when they bring something to the table and they bring like their own personality and their own um kind of energy to like any track. And this is a perfect example of it because you're getting Dread and Mark on a Cole track. You know, they're not trying to like blend their styles to what Cole was doing. I feel like they really like touch down on like who they are as artists and establish themselves on this track however they could best. And it fucking worked out. So I like that a lot. Like this sounded like a collab. This sounded like three artists that really like wanted to make a track together and it came out fucking heat. Um so Cole did an excellent job, absolutely. Um Mark fits in perfect as like the whole meat of the track, if you will, you know, the in between verse. And then Dread was a perfect outro. Perfect outro for sure. And then Matt just really like wraps it up with a tight little bow. And then you have a mix and master by Dread and Cole that just fucking tops it off. That's it. Boom. Send it home. This is a perfect fucking collab. You know what I mean? This is like Music Monday's like stamped and approved for real. Um so instrumentally, definitely solid. Vocals are just 10 out of 10 from me. Everybody fucking killed it. And it was really just a great representation of like how far everybody's come as well, right? Like in one track. I feel like that's pretty crazy to see too. Is like how mature all three of these artists have been coming, right? Like this is like bam. This is where we're at right now. Definitely makes me smile. Definitely makes me smile for sure. So let's talk a little bit about the theme here, right? Aesthetically, you know, Cole's been killing it with the designs. Assuming that Cole did design, I would take a hard guess at yes. Um, but the font choices are great. Kind of has like an underwater vibe to it. And then the core line in the middle almost is like giving this cartoon kind of vibe. And then you throw on the parental advisory, a little bit of analog swag. Simple color palette as well. Perfect for like a sort of like almost like a cipher type track, right? So solid art, 100%. I like the way that Cole has been going in as far as like art direction. Like literally everything Cole has done, like as far as art goes, has really just been crazy. So the overall theme of Coraline itself, right? There's a lot of play on words with Coraline. But I feel like you know everybody took their own different approach at writing and like was able to play off of such a simple subject. And I think that's what's really like giving this track a lot of longevity is I feel like it's just a simple phrase and it's something that like you could play off of in so many ways and Cole really set the standard, right? You know, the writing was really solid, but like on top of it it was the flows and cadence that really like gave Mark and Dread the open field. And Dread in particular as well was able to, you know, wordplay with Coraline and really just kind of like make the intro for like the last verse. And I thought that was like such like a nice touch because sometimes you know tracks you could have like a whole theme, you know, just fucking written out. You could have it, you know, going in one direction, but sometimes it'll just end up a whole different way because you add like features to it and they'll have like a different outlook on it, but it's still the same theme. And I think that's what's really dope about collabs is like you could like write a song for years and years and years, right? And then you could like bring the song to somebody else to feature on it. And their verse is gonna be like such a crazy addition and different take on like what you got going on. I feel like that's where collabs are like so crucial and like you can learn so much and you're like, damn, I didn't think of that. Wow, that's dope, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So this is one of those tracks where that shines, right? Because it's sort of like a simple subject, you know, small wordplay, little punchlines, but everybody sort of brought something different to the table, which is something to take away from this. So, with that said, huge shout out to Cole for letting us react and review this submission. Thank you so much, my friend. Make sure you follow Cole Gerard on SoundCloud, man. Cole's been fucking snapping lately. 6 away from 50. Great milestone. Make sure you follow Cole Gerard on Twitter. 7 away from 40 followers. Another fire milestone. Go get this man's numbers up, man. Cole's killing it, and I guaranteed will continue to fucking kill it. And Mark's reaction to this was fucking great, because Mark knew what the fuck was coming. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit right here. Let's go, man. Hey, wait. Am I being trolled? This is way too weird. So correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a Cole submission and it features Mark, Dredd, and Matt, right? And our next submission is Matt, and our submission after that is Mark, and our submission after that is Dredd. That is fucking trolly. That is hella trolly. Dude, I bet you that'll never line up again if like we tried. That's mad funny. That is mad fucking funny. My connection was fucked. My lag's sitting right now. Sorry if I missed you. Nah, you're good, Cole. You're good. You're very welcome. I appreciate the submission, homie. No worries at all. No worries at all, my friend. But holy shit. That is actually comedy. The submission lineup there is fucking great. So up next, we got the homie Matt Rocks. And Matt is another artist that's been killing it, like, you know, outside of collab vibes and then on some solo shit. Like Jesus, man. Like, Matt has been submitting some fucking crazy ass fucking tracks. With a lot of notable names, lots of really just awesome fucking collabs. Like, I feel like Matt's like almost on this breakthrough of like a different kind of vibe. Like, just like on the cusp of like a new ceiling, truly. So, if you're not aware of who Matt Rocks is, you most definitely will be. And if you're not, you haven't been watching the Music Mondays podcast, motherfucker. So go catch up. But this week, Matt submitted a track titled Die For You, which, I mean, you know, I haven't heard a track titled Die For You that wasn't a banger. I'm going to just say that. For sure. Damn, Matt's got the crazy shit on lock. Okay, lots of creds on here. Exclusive unreleased Matt Rocks. Die For You. Let's check this out.
I don't know what's normal anymore. I'm kinda scared. Clean my room, I'll change my clothes. I'll do my hair, I'll call my friends, call you too. Just to let you know I'm there. It's only two. I'm out of weed, I took my shrooms. It's only me, it's only you. I don't know what's normal anymore. I'm kinda scared. Clean my room, I'll change my clothes. I'll do my hair, I'll call my friends, call you too. Just to let you know I'm there. It's only two. I'm out of weed, I took my shrooms. It's only me, it's only you. I'm in my hood, I'm out my mind, and I just kill the vibe. I just roll them on my heart tonight. I told her I know I'ma die tonight. Whoa, and in the crib is the me tight. Now it's a lonely night. I wish I was young, yeah. I wish I was there, yeah. When you get bored, we can try again. 'Cause I believe in love. I believe it. I believe in love. Damn, and I'm high again. Fucked up all this junk, going party again. It's cycle of emotions, it happens again. It's fun, finding demons to the damn fucking game. Yeah, everything I do is for the game. Yeah, everything I do is for my baby. Taking cash, and you know I'm getting cash. Every time my birthday, yeah, I make it rain. Really with it, they gon' need an umbrella. I've been stacking all my cash, I'm a fucking cheddar. My heart's out, yeah, I want a motherfucking steady. Wanna stop me 'cause I know ain't gonna do better. Ride on bitch love songs, I'm coding. These pussy boy know they don't know me. Do this shit by myself, by my own. Fix the wood to the dome, how I'm coping. I don't know what's normal anymore. I'm kinda scared. Clean my room, I'll change my clothes. I'll do my hair, I'll call my friends, call you too. Just to let you know I'm there. It's only two. I'm out of weed, I took my shrooms. It's only me, it's only you. I don't know what's normal anymore. I'm kinda scared. Clean my room, I'll change my clothes. I'll do my hair, I'll call my friends, call you too. Just to let you know I'm there. It's only two. I'm out of weed, I took my shrooms. It's only me, it's only you. I would die for you. Good for my Valentine, yeah, you know you're all mine. I would die for you. Keep the love on my life, play on my see the future, I'll be fine. 12 grade up the shrooms, open in my third eye. Popping pills and lifeline. Fucking heavy, I love getting high. I can't breathe when you're not by my side. What you need, back, I shoot for life. I'm sorry, on my arms, I'll do right by soul, man. Yeah, I knew from the first step. Yeah, she let me lay every day my back, yeah. Curse to my curse, yeah, cause it be the worst, yeah. I don't know what's normal anymore, I'm kinda scared. Clean my room, I'll change my clothes, I'll do my hair. I'll call my friends, call you too, just to let you know I'm there. It's only two, I'm out of weed, I took my shrooms. It's only me, it's only you. I don't know what's normal anymore, I'm kinda scared. Clean my room, I'll change my clothes, I'll do my hair. I'll call my friends, call you too, just to let you know I'm there. It's only two, I'm out of weed, I took my shrooms. It's only me, it's only you.
Oh, the outro. The outro, man. Jeez, what the fuck, man? What is even happening in that track, dude? Holy shit. That was like... Oh, we got a lot to talk about, man. Matt just keeps fucking doing it to me, dude. He just keeps fucking doing it to me. Jesus. Genki, welcome to stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're well. Common Matt W. I agree. There's a lot to dive into here, so let's talk about three things, man. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, let's talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Die For You. So one thing I want to talk about before we even get into this is Matt putting lyrics in the description as of recently. I think is a really big W. I think that's pretty slept on as far as you know, just little things you can do for your track. I'd like to see more of this, and I think it's really cool that Matt goes the extra mile to do this, for sure. So, instrumentally produced by Matt Rocks, right? But, you know, as we saw with the last track, Coraline by Cole Gerard, this is another Matt Rocks instrumental where we have such a memorable melody, but I think in this case, the drums really sort of, you know, the thing that really got you moving, per se. I love the sound selection as well. I feel like the 808 was definitely a solid choice. I like the way it was mixed. And like I said, man, like, you can really expect that from Matt, right? Like, it's very rare that you're gonna find a Matt Rocks track that is kind of has like a wonky mix, kind of like an off mix, which would be fine, right? Like, it's not the end of the world if you're fucking if your mix is a little off, right? But I feel like in Matt's case, what we're talking about here, we have another solid mix. So you can always expect that, man. I mean, look at the waveform. The waveform is beautiful, right? Like it's not just one solid brick. like that is a nice waveform. So, a great indication of a solid mix, especially with two charismatic artists on it, right? As far as vocals go. But instrumentally, very solid. I love the drum selection and the way that the drums were done overall. They just knock. They just knock really, really hard. Well, let's talk a little bit about vocals here now, though. Bloodcat and the fucking hooks, man. The fucking Bloodcat hooks. So, I feel like it's been a few weeks. Probably a couple episodes since we've had the chance to really talk about a Bloodcat hook. Because we've been focusing so much on, you know, other BCat stuff, like the freestyles, a whole lot of stuff, right? Like, I feel like this is something that didn't get overshadowed, but I feel like we used to talk about a lot, but Bloodcat has just been killing it in so many other angles that it hasn't come up. So this is definitely one of those cases where we can talk about the hook. I mean, shit, since we have the lyrics right here, like, this is just, you know, not only is like the writing like so well done, but the thing is like anybody, not anybody, but you know, people can write good, right? Like, it takes one person to write really well, but it takes another to really like deliver and perform it in like a very proper way. And that's one thing that Bloodcat does so well is no matter like how they're writing their hooks or what they're doing in their hooks, Bloodcat has this delivery that makes it so passionate and so raw and so organic that it's just like, okay. You know what I mean? Like it's just classic hit material. You're just like, damn, this is like a real fucking bop. Like if you're not bopping your head, you're lying. You know what I mean? So for Bloodcat, man, this hook fucking really did it for me. Definitely something I took note of right off rip. Flow and cadence is out of this world on this for sure. Um, you know, you combine this with a Matt Rocks verse, right? And it has me feeling kind of like futuristic highway night rider kind of like um last party in LA kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like it definitely has me feeling like that. Like end of the vacation, end of the year, end of the school year kind of like that feeling, right? And it just has that like end of summer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's fucking end of summer kind of feeling. And I kind of got that after Matt's verse, and I was like, like this is a track that makes you not only feel what Matt and Bloodcat are doing on this track, but really um like almost describing in their lyrics. Like they talk about so many things in here, and it just has this like get up and go, and like it just has this sense of like motivation a little bit. Um So this is why I like these two working together, but in this case, this has a very specific feel to it. It's like alternative rock. It has so many elements, but when you add in um Bloodcat and Matt, it's just like fuck. So yeah, man. Both of these guys absolutely fucking killed it. So vocals kind of have me in a standstill, right? Because we have this hook that is just fucking nuts, but when it comes to verses, that's where it's really like it's really taking me because the writing is so stellar, but like the performance is like just completely selling it for me 100%. Performance and delivery, bar none, are the shining stars for me on this for sure as far as vocals go, 100%. So with that said, let's talk about the theme here. Now, the symbolism is crazy in this. Like this is a very minimalistic kind of cover, right? Definitely aesthetically pleasing, but it's very minimalistic and very like uh just HD and just like boom, this is the cover, bang, that's it. You kind of like get it right off rip. But it's the subtle kind of things, right? Like the symbolism in the bottom right, like come on, like only real motherfuckers are gonna know. And that's sort of like the Matt Rocks Bloodcat kind of like almost like branding, if you will, right? Like that's something that you're gonna see a lot. And I think like little things like this, especially when it comes to covers, is just A1. You know what I mean? Like a fucking one. Um but you almost have this like it's got this like minimalist feel to it, but it has like a deeper meaning almost. It's very symbolic for sure. So cover definitely fucking nails it. Now the overall theme of Die for You. So I mean, it's tagged alternative rock and definitely gives me that vibe, but it's almost like alternative, right? Because we have a couple different elements. Um, we have a couple different elements as far as like drums go and the overall melody of the instrumental. But man, you know, this is definitely an easy topic uh for artists like Matt and Bloodcat to really touch on as far as writing goes, right? So I feel like Bloodcat definitely like set a standard with this hook, and then when Matt hopped on it was like it was really setting the vibe. And I feel like these two were in unison rather than Matt giving a perspective and Bloodcat giving a perspective. I feel like they were both really on theme here and really collectively had like just this emotional almost write off. And I feel like they both touched on a little bit of like emotional sort of topics, but also like more like serious, like upbeat kind of topics. So I feel like this is a good balance. Because you still get your like emotional bars in here from both of these two. But you get like the bounce and the bop and like the sort of like get up and go kind of highway night drive feeling from the verses. So I feel like this is another collab from these two that just is fucking out of this world, man. This is definitely nuts. This is definitely nuts. Like literally, like I said at the start of the submission, like Matt's like right there as far as like breaking through like another fucking ceiling. Like this is just like um I just had a feeling, and Matt really keeps just surprising us consistently every week, man. Literally. So with that said, huge shout out to Matt Rocks. Thank you so much for the submission, homie. Much motherfucking love. Make sure you follow Matt Rocks on SoundCloud. Approaching 1.8. Very close. Very good milestone. And of course, make sure you follow Matt Rocks on Twitter at Matt_Rocks. Matt is approaching like 20 followers on his new Twitter, man. Go show this motherfucker some love. That will be in the description. Go show Matt some love, man. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 70 subscribers. Huge shout out to everybody that already has. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes. A whole lot of good stuff's going down on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. Go show the channel and these artists some love. All right, what's good, chat? Apple, what's good, homie? I hope you're well. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Bloodcat, what's good? Happy Monday. Welcome on in. This tape's gonna be so crazy. Now we go 50-50 on the Manic episodes and we get it done. Yay, let him fucking know, Bloodcat. Let him know, hey, you know, you guys are really on some duo fucking fusion shit for sure. Like big fusion dance energy going on. 100%. But you guys are killing it for sure. But wow. I mean, Jesus fuck, dude. Those first 2 submissions, like, are we serious right now? Holy shit. Alright, so up next we got the homie King Mark. Man, like, another one that has just been fucking annihilating everything from visuals to solos to collabs to literally everything. Not only is Mark super talented, but also a very active member of the community. And it just has this work ethic in the underground that not many people can match. Mark's been killing it lately. But Mark submitted a track titled Ashley, and the caption is, I would have thought her name was Ashley, and she a pretty dumb blonde if you ask me. Hashtag bars. So, who the fuck knows what we're about to get here? Let's check this out. And I was streaming last night, and Mark had said to me, yo, I just cooked this up, mixed it, made the cover art, fucking uploaded it in one session. So, this is about to be some crazy shit. Definitely about to be some crazy shit. Ryuki, what's good? Welcome. I hope you're well. Happy Monday. Mark is a goat in human form. Bah! Jesus fuck. So, exclusive, unreleased King Mark. Ashley. But before we get into it, This cover's fucking crazy as shit. Signature King Mark font. I mean, come on. Like, homies in the backseat freestyle. Okay, okay, okay. Even got lyrics and description. One session freestyle after my hiatus. Much love. Mix King Mark, cover art King Mark. And we got the lyrics. Okay, 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 okay. Let's get it. King Mark, Ashley, homies in the back. Freestyle. This is a bop. Yeah, see, that's what I like to fucking see, man. Let's go, Mark. Let's fucking go. Holy shit. I mean, one session freestyle, bro. Like this is cool. This is cool. I love these kind of tracks, right? This is kind of like a one night cook up. And I think there's a deeper thing we have to talk about here that I think is not talked about enough. So, let's talk about three things here. I want to talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of Ashley. Instrumentally, what can I say? This is like 100% like a perfect King Mark instrumental, bar none. Mark has been killing it with the choices lately, but more so under that, like Mark's been really like sitting in this kind of like alternative trap pop kind of vibe, right? You kind of had this like electrical pop kind of like, you know, undertone with like sort of like heavy trap drums and like it sounds like Mark, right? Like I feel like I associate that sound with Mark now and it just sounds like so good paired with Mark vocals. So instrumental choice definitely solid. I love the mix on it as well. Definitely knocks. Melody is definitely shining star here as far as that goes. Very memorable. Definitely something that sticks out, you know what I mean? But other than that, I would say the drums definitely knock for sure. Like they just have that perfect mix on them. So this prod definitely did a solid motherfucking job. So instrumental's great. Um let's talk about vocals here. Now, we have a little bit of a more electronic mark on this mix, and I love that. I feel like Mark has been slowly fine tuning this mix and like how they mix their vocals for as long as we've been reacting to their tracks, to be honest with you. Since day one, we've seen Mark fine tune this style of mixing to be like their own. And I feel like this vocal mix is like it's coming along so well, but on top of that, it's come so far. You know what I mean? Like it's come so far. So I love the vocals here. Nice and wide. Definitely like it's like pleasing to the ear, especially for like say like a first time listener. I feel like it's come so far as far as like being crisp and like very very solid around the edges. So vocals are great here. Um, I'd have to say the hook for this is really something that's like simple but like memorable and makes you want to kind of just like it makes you want to bop a little, right? But I think the thing that really stuck out to me here was once again the flow and cadence. I don't know what's been going on in Mark's water, but Mark has just been killing it in the flow and cadence department. Like if I'm being completely honest, that's definitely an area that has like stepped up out of nowhere as far as recent King Mark releases go. So this is awesome to see, you know what I mean? All around just like a really chill one shot kind of track, right? Like one session freestyle. Like this is sick. This is like a perfect example, right? Of like if you really wanted to like cook up a track and you were like, damn, you know, I haven't dropped, I feel like dropping, or this, that, and the third, like this is truly like a perfect example of like how you can do that and like how not easy but how like it, it can be done. It can be done in a very simple way, right? And still be a fucking banger. Because this beat was a perfect choice. You cook up some fire art and you just spit over this, and it's just like boom, one session, like done, and it comes out so dope, and definitely like a sort of like a slept on, um, sort of undertone going on here, right? Like this is like brand new, just cooked it up, and it came out fire. Like sometimes that shit is it's just how music works, bro. Like it's just how fucking music works. Like you could spend hours in the studio on certain shit, and then sometimes when you just feel like cooking up, and you cook up, some shit in 2 hours, and you have a whole release ready to go. You know what I mean? Like punching bar for real, just help. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Mark. Exactly. Just making up as it goes helps a ton. Like oh, I should do this. Oh, this sounds sick. Just play that back, and like I don't know, like certain releases require different things, right? But as far as like the scope goes for like just like wanting to release something and like cook up like a real solid release that like is nice around the edges, I feel like this is a perfect example. You know what I mean? Like perfect example. Like just get in the zone. And I feel like Mark was in the zone when this was made. Truly. So instrumental, very, very solid. Vocals, very solid. The overall theme, right? Like aesthetically, 10 out of 10 cover for me. I love the real life elements added to this, but it still has a little bit of that like classic feel to it with the King Mark font. So 100, just 100%, 10 out of 10 without a doubt. Without a doubt. So very standard hard ass King Mark cover for sure. And I like the simplicity to it, right? Like this is almost like a Zom Slays cover, right? Like I feel like it has those like real life elements to it, but it has this like slight edits. And then the title, you know what I mean? Like homies in the backseat freestyle, and the way it has the font and the stars around Ashley, like that little shit can make the world of difference for somebody remembering your track. Believe it. Especially if it's something you think looks swag, or like, yo, that looks fire, like, yo, that's gas. Keep it. You know what I mean? Keep it, because people remember shit like that, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, that's a Mark track right there." So aesthetically, it's great. Now the overall theme, right? You can't really like nail down like a freestyle theme, but overall, I do feel like Mark did keep it consistent when it comes to like the hook slash chorus. Like, I feel like this was definitely like just one of those kind of like take a beat and like roll with it. But I love the consistency within the freestyle. Like, you could even have a freestyle about 50 different things, but as long as the track itself is consistent, within the structure, right? You know, verse, hook, verse, however you want to do it, it comes out nice. And I feel like you didn't really need a necessarily theme here. I just feel like Mark just fucking killed it and like really spit what they wanted to spit and like made some really like original beautiful sounds that like were just it's like what underground music is all about, honestly. You know what I mean? Like you have these like very alternative underground instrumentals mixed with like vocals that are mixed in a like very specific way, and you just have these freestyle lines that are just going in like this is like organic shit right here, to be honest with you. 11 Pepper Steppers in a song is nuts. Yeah, like that's what I was saying. I was like, nah, like this is for sure a freestyle, but like I just love the consistency of it. You know what I mean? Because you could be all over the place with a song, but as long as the structure is consistent, you're good to go. And I feel like this is what Mark accomplished here, for sure. I've made the best shit ever. That just started with me fucking with something that had little thought to it. Yeah, like, you know, even for producers, engineers, like that even applies to them too, right? Because, you know, sometimes tracks do require, you know, the surgery and do require the small, minuscule attention. And then there'll be times where you just cook up something in 10 minutes and it's like, holy shit, this is fucking gas. And it's just because you're letting the creative juices flow out of you rather than try to like force a subject out of yourself. And, you know, don't get me wrong, because either way it works. You know what I mean? Sometimes, even myself, like I've made tracks where, you know, I've had a constant theme in my life or, you know, I had going on around me that I was like, oh, I'm going to make a track to this. And then some other times I just had a feeling, you know what I mean? Rather than like a pinpoint theme, and both of which turn out really really fire. So I feel like you know, this is a great example of an artist really just being like, you know what, fuck it, let's just cook up a track, and like actually cook up a track though, like not in the lazy way, not like don't put cover art, not like what I mean by this is very specific. Because people could get that fucked up and they'll be like, yeah, dude, like I just cooked this up in 10 minutes, not mix it, have no cover. And, you know, no, that's not what I'm talking about. This is like something that you can just put out for not only yourself, but for supporters, you know, to, you know, be like, oh, Lil Freestyle, go run this up, new music soon type shit. Like, this is the kind of like easy, kind of fun stuff that you can do to fill in the gaps between, you know, breaks, like, you know, in Mark's case here, after my hiatus, much love. Like that is a perfect example of like, okay, like just fill in the gaps of, you know, a break, or fill in the gaps between a project or whatever, but actually put your effort into it, and all it takes is a couple hours, and boom, you have a fucking track. You see what I'm saying? So that type of shit's important. Don't sleep on that. Do not sleep on that. But yeah, with that said, huge shout out to King Mark, man. Thank you for letting us premiere this exclusive brand new King Mark unreleased track. Um Make sure you follow King Mark on SoundCloud. King Mark is on the way to 160, man. 150. Mark hit 150. I don't know when or how, or maybe we even saw it, but go get Mark to 160, man. Lots of bangers on there. And of course, make sure you follow King Mark on Twitter, King Mark Music. Mark is approaching 270, about 6 away. Awesome milestone there as well. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 70 subscribers there as well, man. You know, we upload 2 times a week, exclusive podcast segments, full podcast episodes, exclusive tracks, music videos, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel. Go check out the channel and go show these artists some love. Kind of cringe a good way of doing things. Yeah, like, I mean, to each their own, right? Like, to each their own. Like, there's truly no, like, there's truly no, like, rules to this shit. But, you know, some things just work better in specific cases, you know? But for the most part, there's no, like, you know, like, blanket fucking way to, you know, go about things, you know, sometimes people just create the way that they create, and it just comes out the way it comes out. And then sometimes, you notice like patterns and things like that. That's like, oh, that probably works. Or, oh, this, that, and the third. Like, you start to pick up on little things like that. But at the end of the day, like, it's all preference. And as long as you're comfortable creating what you want to create, that's all that matters, truly. Like I think being comfortable is like the number one thing. Because, like, being an artist and like having music as like a career isn't like everybody else's career, right? It's to where you can like stomach being uncomfortable and shit. And I'm not talking about like performing on stage and shit. I'm talking about like feeling like, you're like making an album of a theme that you don't really believe in, or you're making, sad music because people want to hear sad music, or just doing shit because you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? But you think it's going to like further you. That's the kind of shit that, is no bueno. Obviously, but when it comes to like remembering that like it's all creative preference is why that's important. Because like if you don't, you'll just end up in that weird cycle where like you're just not having fun, and like you can still have fun and work very hard, you know what I mean, and still like sort of just have like creative freedom, and just do things how you want to do them. um you know I wouldn't say there's like a blanket, but I would definitely say there's like sort of like tips for like certain things, right? And that's obvious, but like, specific things like that, as to where like, oh, like I just took a break, like how do I get back into my first track? Like, and people would want to make it into some big massive release or something like that. Like, nah, just cook up a freestyle, get your next, whatever going on, drop that shit, and be good to go. Um so yeah, all creative preference, and fuck, if anybody knows that, it's definitely me. Because, bro, between the people that I've seen record in their whips, record in real studios, punch in, punch out, write songs for 3 months, like, do whatever you want to do, man, because all of them are talented. Like, I've seen extremely talented people do all of those things, bro. Like, all of them. Like, people you wouldn't fucking believe. Um, so yeah. Yeah. Um, Basically, ask for help if you ever need help, but if not, do what feels right, you know? So, up next, we got the homie, No Name Dread. And Dread is another one, man, who's just been fucking snapping lately. Dread is an artist that really, you know, like I always say, really lets their art speak for themselves, and consistently surprises us and his supporters on a pretty frequent basis on what Dread comes out with. I mean, from the recent projects, the recent singles, to what we just heard on Coraline, like Dread has been really fucking leveling up. And we've had like the throwback visuals, the almost kind of cypher style tracks with No Name Posse, like, wow. But this week we have an exclusive unreleased No Name Dread track titled Alone Here. And it's prod No Name Dread. And it's got that nutty ass fucking cover we saw, what, like last week, I think? So holy fuck. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so this might be like, you know, Dread's next project, or we might have some shit going on here, chat. So let's check this out. No Name Dread, Alone Here. Prod Dread.
Alone in this town, can't count on me now. They counting me out, like no one's around. Where can we know? True, where can we know? Where can we know? Figure this out. If it would doubt, drown. Where can we know? Figure this out. If it would doubt, drown. Alone in this town, can't count on me now. They
Damn.
Shots that left the brain right. You're all just dead side. Didn't bleed, I'm a fucker with Slipknot. Look down, go up, my brain drop. Step on me, no, can't rewrite. You all just sleep on me, stop. Still on my soul, no revive. New York dealers painted a band. Gotta fix it, repair, I've been getting a bandage. Book away how I manage the damage. You don't know my face if you know it's damage. Okay, reset, I ain't bleed yet. Gotta go with the jet, I'm a reject. Got a lot of goals, I ain't reach yet. Love a lot of go, but I ain't reach yet.
Yeah, this was crazy. What the fuck? Dread always delivers. Yo, you spin right now. You are fucking spin right now. I like this for a couple of like different reasons. So let's break this one down. We're talking about three things here. We're talking about the instrumental, talk about vocals, we're talking about the overall theme of Alone here. So instrumentally, I love the melody choice here. Mix is solid. Now, mind you, this is Prod No Name Dread, so self-produced, and wow, wow. Simple but so fucking heavy, like so heavy as far as like emotion goes in an instrumental. As a producer, this is something that I gravitate towards. Um, Sort of almost like the acoustic style melody with like the heavier kind of dark trap drums. Like it sounds so nice, man. It sounds so fucking good. But as far as the instrumental goes, I think one other thing you can touch on here is the structure. The structure is like chef's kiss. It's perfect. Brings enough variety to the track, lets the beat breathe a little bit, and gives enough shine time to Dread, right? And lets Dread like be very melodic. So instrumental, 10 out of 10. Well fucking constructed, for sure. So let's talk about vocals. Now we have a very solid Dread mix here. This is definitely a mix from Dread that's like I don't want to say standard, but it's solid all around, right? Like you'll know right off rip that this is a Dread song for sure. Definitely has more of like the darker, lower pitch kind of vibe, but um, really just has like the crisp wideness to it that I really enjoy from Dread vocals, for sure. Um, but Shining Star for vocals here for me is the melodies and like the cadence and the flows are just like it's so simple, but it's very like rememberable for like a first time listen. Like there are so many people that would listen to this for the first time and be like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck's going on here?" Like it's so rememberable. So flows and cadence here for sure. Once again, Dread absolutely fucking delivered on this. Bar none. Now we definitely have the darker style of like Dread writing mixed in with like more like lighter writing tones, and it just makes for like this great mix of like dark sounds and like even like darker vibes with the lyrics, but like it's somehow still like it has this kind of like groove kind of feeling to it. Like it almost makes you want to get up and go. It's very like get up and go um kind of feelings. Like, sometimes darker emotional music can be exactly what it sounds like, dark and emotional. But Dread's way of going about it when it comes to flows and cadences just makes you want to get up and fucking go. Like even though the themes and tones are dark, like it's still such a bop. You know what I mean? I think that's such a core element of Dread, and you just gotta fucking talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, cause like no matter how dark the subject matter is, Dread always manages to make it like danceable, and like you're gonna want to like groove to it a little bit for sure. So let's talk about the theme. Aesthetically, I gave my thoughts last week on this cover, but definitely reminds me of the Red art style that we all really enjoy, and I definitely really fucking enjoy. Um, throw the little parental advisory up there, and you're good to go. Like it's minimal but solid, and you can pick out like the fine details of it. And you can just take one look at it and absolutely know that it's a Dread track for sure. So, aesthetically, 10 out of 10 for sure. Now, the overall theme of Alone here, pretty much what it says, but Dread sort of dives in a little bit on, expanding on that theme and sort of, a little bit of wordplay on describing it, along with like just regular Dread like punchlines that, like I said, just aren't. They're like they are kind of dark, but they're not really like dark forms of writing as to where it's like, oh shit, it's like the pure essence of being able to like deliver whatever in such a good fashion. You know what I mean? Like literally last week we were talking about that track where he was doing um the burp segment, like, and that whole idea was like fucking nuts, like fucking nuts, and like that's like the sort of rare qualities that certain artists have, right? Of being able to take like no matter how dark or emotional the subject matter and turn it into like a sort of different type of delivery. And I get that vibe from Dread often. So yeah, Alone here, definitely something to watch out for, 100%. And anything new from Dread, definitely something to watch out for. Um Huge shout out to No Name Dread. Thank you for letting us premiere that exclusive unreleased track. Make sure you follow No Name Dread on SoundCloud. One away from 210. That's a fire ass milestone. One away. Somebody go follow Dread. God damn it. And make sure you follow No Name Dread on Twitter. 7 away from 150. Also a fire milestone. 7 away. Fuck. Let's go, Dread. And huge shout out to anybody that did submit, and every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Subscribe to Music Money's YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 70 subscribers. Huge shout out to anybody that already has. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, music videos, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good stuff's going down on the channel, man. The best underground YouTube content channel known to man. Go show us some love. Thank you. So, how we doing, man? How the fuck we doing? We are well underway into episode 91, man. We are 1 hour 30 minutes in. Huge shout out to anybody that is hanging out with us, the late night crew. Huge shout out to anybody that submitted. You guys are fucking killing it, man. J Rod unfortunately would be our last audio submission, but J Rod does not follow the Music Money's homepage. So, sometimes if we have time, we'll usually wrap back around to artists that don't follow the page, but for the most part, we don't, just to give respect to everybody else that does follow Music Mondays and support the homepage. So that's the only thing that we do ask, considering that we don't charge anybody for any written article submissions, playlists, things like that. And we never have, we never will. So that's the only thing that we do ask, is that you follow on the page before you submit your tracks. And it would probably be good so you could know when your track, gets reviewed. So that's the only thing that we do ask. J-Rod, feel free to resubmit your track when you are following the Music Mondays homepage. So, I think we are just about done for audio submissions, which means we can move into visuals. And we got Ivica, Bloodcat, and Offspring coming through with some visuals. So we are just about the halfway point. So you guys know what that means. We are going to take a quick commercial break. I need everybody to get up, go stretch their legs, go to the bathroom, go do whatever you gotta do while we go take a bathroom break. Void, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're well. Genki, thank you for the follow. I did not even see that. Huge shout out to Twitch for the no notification. That is amazing. But thank you. Welcome to the streaming family. I appreciate you. But yeah, huge shout out to anybody that is chilling with us. Anybody that has submitted tonight. You guys are fucking amazing, man. Let's get it. So I will be right back. The Music Mondays podcast will be right back. Feel free to get up, go stretch your legs, go grab a snack, go get a drink. In Music Mondays episode 91, we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Music Mondays podcast. I hope you're well. I hope you're chilling. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out at the Music Mondays corner. Embarrassed, I work for the site and just now followed on Twitch. Nah, you're good. No worries. I got you. No worries. No worries. I'll give you a VIP later on in the chat. So people know that you're a notable staff member. So, we pretty much tackled audio submissions. We're good there. Let's go through visual submissions. Now we have a first-time submitting artist and a Music Monday staff member known as Ivica Glass. And the track they submitted is Aroma Barrier. Now, this is something that, I'm kind of... Oh, yeah, see, okay, this is gonna be crazy. I'm very, very interested in this, but we have no idea what we're in for here, right? Because first time submitting artist, but also Music Monday staff member. So this should be good. Prod ADB file share, arranged, mixed, and mastered by me, as well as the visualizer by me. So we're definitely going to be talking about the visualizer. That's for sure. I'll need to submit something next time. Yep. Submissions go live every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. Any chance I can squeeze in a demo of the music submission? Submissions close before the show goes live. If you're interested in submitting for next week's show, feel free to follow us on Twitter, and submissions will go live tomorrow afternoon. We keep the show pretty free flow here, so we close submissions a couple hours before the show. So if you're ever interested, feel free to follow us on Twitter, and the latest submission updates are always available there. So, we do have an instrumental, but the arrangement, mix, and the master is by Ivica. So this will be very, very, very interesting. So we're gonna full screen this. We're gonna max out the quality here, and we're gonna check this out. Bromo, what's good? Welcome. I hope you're well. Making food, I'll be in and out. I got you, my friend. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. ADB, Ivica Glass, Aroma Barrier. Okay, okay, okay. Let's fucking go, man. Um, what a first time submission. I fuck with this for real. Shout out to the homie Nick. Let's go. Shout out ADB. Um, wow, wowie, wow, wow, wow. So let's check out the description. YouTube exclusive for now. Um, wow. Okay, 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 okay. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. Obviously, no vocals, so we're gonna break down the instrumental. We're gonna talk about the theme of Aroma Barrier, and we're gonna talk about the visual, of course. So let's run down on this instrumental. This is a very interesting one, right? Because arrangement, mix, and master by me, but the beat is by ADB. So this is like almost like a collab, as far as like the instrumental goes, right? So, um, this isn't something that you see too often, and I wish producers and artists would do this more. Is collab on an instrumental and release it. It's just not something you see often. Um, you know, it's one thing to release an instrumental album, and it's one thing to um collab on an instrumental and have an artist hop on it, but to collab on an instrumental and release it as an instrumental, very typical, and I definitely would like to see more producers do that. But nonetheless, a mix here is very solid for what's going on in this track. Definitely has a lot of like abstract parts, slightly like almost chaotic but structured. Has like an alternative electric feel to it with very solid kind of almost trap like drums, but has a little bit of like a harder kick to them. So all in all, mix is very solid. This mix is something that's definitely slept on as far as tracks that always have a lot going on as far as production goes, right? Producers know sometimes it could be a big hit or miss depending on your sound selection to mix a track that has a lot going on. So mix is very very solid for what this is, 100%. Now let's talk about the structure because I feel like the structure and the visual almost go hand in hand. Um, because it's almost like more of like an abstract structure to go with like an abstract visual. Um, the structure isn't your typical um hook versus hook kind of deal. It's very like continuous, and then you have like a breakdown, and you sort of get this like almost mix live DJ feel from it, which is fucking dope. Like I think that's a very slept on thing as well as producers like, you know, structuring instrumentals in a way where it's unconventional. It's different from what you're usually used to hearing, and Aroma Barrier definitely checks that off on the checkbox for me for sure. But Shining Star, I'm kind of tied between the melody and the drums. I like both a lot. I feel like the sound selection here was very solid, but the melody is something that's like very memorable and very like in your face, like aggressive. Um, so all in all, I'd have to say the Shining Star is sound selection, just in general. Between the melodies and the drums, the sound selection is very, very um consistent and on par with what I think the vibe was of this track. So the instrumental itself, all in all, is very solid, and there's a lot of substance here for just 2 minutes. And sometimes you could go even longer and add even more substance, but for like a 2 minute instrumental track, I feel like this had a lot of variety and a lot of substance as far as structure and what you're getting out of it goes. So that's all you can ask as far as an instrumental release. So yeah, I mean, fuck, this is a great collab at the end of the day. Definitely more on the abstract side and keeps it very like modern and not too crazy, to be honest. Like it's like crazy, but in like a very specific way, and it keeps it consistent. Like I think crazy is good as long as it's not erratic, and you can be as crazy as you want in any track as long as it's like got some sort of like structure to it. And it sounds stupid because it's like crazy and structure shouldn't be in the same sentence, but it's very true. And this is one of those tracks that definitely nails that for me. That it's like very all over the place, but it stays in line through its structure. So well done. So instrumental, very very solid. Overall theme of Aroma Barrier. I mean, this sort of goes hand in hand with the visual here, and like I said, it's more of like an abstract kind of futuristic club visual almost. It kind of gives me the vibe of, I wouldn't say like psychedelics or anything like that, but it definitely has a futuristic kind of club feel. Like it looks like something you'd see on like a jumbotron in like a festival. You know what I mean? And this would be like a great like intro for like a festival, right? Like say some big ass artist was about to be playing like a headline up. This is some shit you'd see in the intro. And you'd be like, damn, that was fucking gas. This is about to be hype as shit. This is very, very on par with that. Um, Even as far as the sounds go. But the visual itself definitely complements the instrumental 100%. Ivica has been killing it with all of the visuals recently. And this goes right in line with that 100%. And it says in the description, YouTube exclusive for now. I think this is perfect. Like, I think this is one of those like sort of hidden gems that is presented in like a really solid way. And it's even tagged abstract art, visual art. Like that's literally what I thought instantly. It just has this different kind of feel to it that's so original that it just could never be replicated. And I think that's something that you could really tip here. Very, very tippable. Um, so yeah, all in all, for a first time submission, this is very, very consistent and well structured. I think this is awesome, and I would love to hear from Ivica once again. Huge shout out to Ivica. Thank you for the submission. Make sure you go subscribe to the Ivica Glass YouTube. 10 subscribers. Shit, let me fix that. I'll drop one right now. And anybody else that drops one gets a kiss from Zom Slays. So go do it. But make sure you go show Ivica some love and follow Ivica on Twitter at Ivica Glass. Ivica is approaching 610. So go show Ivica some love. And Ivica is also a curator on the Music Monday staff team, also working on a couple side projects with the team. So go show him some love, for real. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 70 subscribers. We upload 2 times a week. Full episodes, exclusive segments, exclusive tracks, music videos, a lot of good stuff's going down on the channel, man. So go check out the channel and go show these artists some love. Up next, we got the homie Bloodcat. And my oh my. Fuck. So this, we heard a little bit of Bloodcat today, with that unreleased Matt Rocks track. But Bloodcat and the visuals just is fucking nuts. It is just like, never ceases to amaze me. Never ceases to amaze me. Like Bloodcat has been absolutely smashing the visuals left and right. Literally, we've had to review at least like 5 and react to at least like 5 in the past. Like what? Like fuck, dude. Let's go. Like, holy shit. Yeah. So lyrics and description. All the Bloodcat links. I'm interested. I'm very very interested. Bloodcat has been on a roll with visuals, releases, projects. A very active member of the Music Mondays community. Always shows artist love. Always shows Music Mondays love. And it's just all around. Somebody that's very good to be around in the underground. Like fuck, you know what I mean? Bloodcat has just been on one recently. Just man. Love you. Let's fucking go, Bloodcat. Love you too. All right, for this, let's get into it. Bloodcat Down to Die featuring Matt Rocks official music video. Ah, shit.
This city, this city, this city, Sin City, this city, this city got me feeling right. Is you coming with me? Is you down to ride? I get a bitch for 50, now she down to die. This city, this city, this city, Sin City, this city, this city got me feeling right. Is you coming with me? Is you down to ride? Get a bitch for 50, now she down to ride. This city, this city, this city, Sin City, this city, this city got me feeling right. This city, is you down to ride? Get a bitch for 50, now she down to die. Oh, met her in the night and that's a oh. Say she wanna die but not alone. Oh, oh, if we gon' die tonight, I need to know. Are you down to ride? Cause we can go. Are you down to shine? Cause we can glow. She like the way I call it white. Like the way I call it white. She call it blow. I wanna go in her bag. Wanna get up your ass. I'm gonna go in her bag. She been around the block. She know I'm not a sight. Now she kissing on my watch. She in love with my eyes. This city, this city, this city, this city, this city, Sin City got me feeling right. Is you coming with me? Is you down to ride? Get that bitch for 50, now she down to die. This city, this city, this city, Sin City, this city, this city got me feeling right. Is you coming with me? Is you down to ride? Get that bitch for 50, now she down to fly. This city, this city, this city, Sin City, this city, this city got me feeling right. Is you coming with me? Is you down to ride? Get that bitch for 50, now she down to die. Yeah, get my bitch at 30, now she acting right. Yeah, get my bitch at 30, now she on the pipe. Yeah, hey, get my bitch some dirty, now she down to party. Hey, now she acting dirty and she wanna pipe. Yeah, told my bitches buy a hit right there, right there. Yeah, I wanna build your mansion in Bel Air, Bel Air. Yeah, I'm partying with demons to let them in here. No, I don't care. Rich junkies, codeine ain't no gear. And if we die tonight, is it a sacrifice? Hey, baby, by my neck and pour it over ice. Yeah, make me play Paramore, but my business is misery. Yeah, can't you see? I've been going through a lot. Yeah, grip my bitch and make it sing. Ooh la la. Sounding like a drum, it go. Please don't fuck with my money. If you do, I let it out. Is you coming with me? Is you down to ride? Yeah, that bitch for 50, now she down to die. This city, this city, this city, this city, this city, this city got me feeling right. This city, this city, this city, this city, this city, this city got me feeling right. Is you coming with me? Is you down to ride? Get that bitch for 50, now she down to die. Now she down to die. I think you're pretty cool.
Wow. All right. All right. All right. This one's very, very crazy for a different reason. We're gonna talk about four things here. We're gonna break this down by the instrumental. We're talk about vocals, and we're talk about the theme and the visual. So, this right here is wow, bop as always. Oh, 100%, 100%. This visual is something we definitely have got to touch on. So, instrumentally, right off rip, this is just absolutely a Matt and Bloodcat instrumental for sure. Massive, like, you know, catchy writing potential. And it just has that bounce that both of these two really flow extremely well on. But it has that sort of like feeling that I was describing on Matt's unreleased track, where and it's fully going into it in the visual here, so it's kind of trippy to see. But right off rip, this instrumental absolutely hit the nail on the head for me. These two always kill it when it comes to really coming together on an instrumental like this. Like, I have yet to hear a track where it's like, you know what I mean? Like, they always match so well on instrumentals like these. And of course, mix is absolutely fucking solid. No surprise there. But you know, let's talk a little bit about vocals here because, like, both of their flows were so memorable, but they complemented each other so fucking well. I feel like that's something that is really, really prominent in this track is these two complementing each other a lot. Which, you could say they do every track, right? But this track in particular, I feel like they do complement each other a lot, especially with Bloodcat on the hook. No surprise there. Shining Star for me is absolutely the hook. And using this shot in the visual sidebar for the hook was this right here. This was something that I was like, yeah, like, because this is like what I picture in my head, and I'm always like, yeah, like they do such a good job, helping the listener like visualize what they're talking about. This is like what I visualize, and the fact that it's like almost in like sketch black and white format is like pretty fucking crazy. Like this is like literally what I envision for the majority of these tracks is like these like epic showings of shots and scenes, and then you have the Bloodcat Mad Rock show and they're performing the track, right? Like, so hold on, before I get into that, vocals. The Bloodcat hook here is just absolutely the shining star, but Matt's verse complements everything so fucking well. Matt really brings the more grit to this, and Bloodcat keeps the bounce up, right? So I feel like they both just complement each other so well, and that's what I meant by that. Is these two are just in symmetry, truly. And most of the tracks they are, but this one in question, absolutely. Now, let's talk about the theme here, right? Down to Die was just really something that is relatively simple to wordplay off of, but these two in particular did such a good job actually telling almost a story throughout this whole track. And that's where we can almost talk about the visual as well, because as we continue to, watch through this again, it's like perfect with what the substance of this track is, right? And like you have these like epic ideas sometimes, but sometimes you just can't, execute them when you want them to or how you want to execute them. So this was such a unique approach when it comes to the visual and the theme, right? I feel like those two are truly hand in hand here because the visual was used to describe the theme in such a way where sometimes you might not be able to as an independent artist. You're like, shit, I have this like massive idea for a track, but like I want to do it now. I don't want to like wait a year to get the budget and do it myself. Like I want to do it right now. And this was like so well done for like what this track is. I feel like the visual, aside from the audio itself, is the best part about this because it describes pretty much everything that's going on without really having to think too much about it. And that's something that sometimes people, especially listeners, people that aren't artists and don't make music, a lot of stuff goes over their heads, and this is like a one way to like really describe what's going on in the track without having to like fucking go into massive detail or be like subliminal and like have people question what you're really talking about. This visual really helps people understand, like back to the quote that I'm always talking about as to where like, oh, this is written in a way where it helps me visualize like what you're talking about. The visual is actually doing that. And like with like down to like small minuscule things like each verse, the hook, the intro, the outro, like the specific shots of the city in the start is like what really did it for me. Cause like that's the type of shit that I think about. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, like that's perfect. And like the shots with the girls, like and the lean and all of this stuff, like pertaining to both BCat and Matt Rock's verse, is so specific and helps the listener visualize like what is going down. And it's so unique and so original. Nobody else is doing shit like this. You know what I mean? In a style and aesthetic that they are doing it. Nobody. You know what I mean? Like, and even if people were, you like, it's so hard to replicate this, right? Like, it's not something that you can easily replicate because it is so original. It's so well done in a fashion where it's like, wow, this is so unique. You know what I mean? And that's like the best thing for your music. And just take a risk and just do some different shit. And this is exactly what I'm seeing here. Because Bloodcat has been killing it with the visuals. Like, I literally said it right at the start, right? Since day one, been killing it with the visuals, been killing it with the visuals, been killing it with the visuals. But this was a different approach, and I love it. I love the different approach. You know what I mean? A little bit more simple, not as taxing sometimes. And really like was like so well done for like a collab track as well. Like if you're gonna do something like this, doing it for a collab track makes it even cooler, to be honest with you. But I think the shining star for me for the visual is not only the editing, but the subtle hints to detail and like the small things, like down to like what's being said in lines and verses and like what's going on in the visual being synced up, and just how well choices were made creatively for this visual. Like that's what I love about this. Like it just checked every box for me, for sure. And it's not even like a quote unquote like IRL visual. This is just more of like a animated music video. And you don't see too many of these often. And like if you do, they're not as well done as this. Like there are very few artists that have done this successfully in a way where it's consumable for everybody, and I feel like this is one of them, and definitely one of the only ones I've seen on the show, 100%. So well fucking done to Bloodcat and Matt Rocks, man. You guys have been fucking destroying shit lately. Everybody has, but this was like another level. This was really really dope to see. Really fucking dope. Huge shout out to Bloodcat. Thank you for the submission, homie. Much much motherfucking love. Make sure you go show Bloodcat some love on YouTube. Bloodcat is approaching 190 subs, man. And you know what? Once again, I'll go get it fucking started. Everybody else go show Bloodcat some love, man. 190 going down. Very close. 7 away now. Make sure you follow Bloodcat on Twitter as well at BCat Plus. That's Bloodcat's brand new Twitter. 7 away from 50 followers. Very, very dope milestone. Very dope milestone. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And make sure you subscribe to Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 70 subscribers. We're about like 6 away or so. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive segments, full podcast episodes, music videos, exclusive tracks, a whole lot of good stuff. So go show the channel and these artists some love. Bitch. Put it in a museum. Let them fucking know, Bloodcat. Thank you, Zom. You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you for the submission. Thank you for the pleasure of letting us react to that. So, we've been killing it tonight, chat. We have been fucking like everybody is just like, what the fuck, bro? Like every submission has been top tier. Picking a top 3 tonight is gonna be fucking annoying. Just letting you know. But wow, you guys have been killing it, man. But this leads us to last but not least, Offspring Mysterious. And Offspring says it's time for a new chapter. Now, if you don't know who Offspring Mysterious is, man, Offspring, the only thing you really need to know is the work ethic is bar none, right? Offspring is a producer, an editor, a writer, a designer, really an artist that goes above and beyond for a lot of things that they are doing with their work. Since day one, when we reviewed their homepage down to their production, their visual edits, Offspring has been fucking killing it. Probably leading score for like most drops this year, as far as like all around content goes. But man, this week they submitted Chapter 4, Shattered Bright / New Dawn. It is a 11-minute Offspring edit and a new chapter to Offspring Mysterious. And Offspring's in the chat now. Welcome. New chapter. Who dis? I've been trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty. Please give us a call back at. So, it's time for a new chapter, man. I mean, what better way to end episode 91 than with brand new Offspring Mysterious? Let's check this out. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, chat. Oh my god, I'm in a warm house this time. Uh. This instrumental is crazy. Down. Oh shit. Slumped.
Hmm. Uh. Oh shit. Uh. The transitions are crazy. Oh shit. Bro, it's going down in this chapter. Oh shit. Dude. The outro was very pog. That was sick. That was sick. That was fucking sick. Hey, new drop on the way. New drop. Wow, okay. Okay. Let's fucking go. Alright. November 1st, baby. Let's get it, Offspring. See, this is one of the best things about this type of content from Offspring, right? Is now Offspring has recently incorporated promotion and like new drops into these new chapters in the series that Offspring has been doing. So that's like truly one of like the greatest things that Offspring has done with this. I mean, with all the recent submissions with things like TikToks and being on the news on Instagram, Offspring really has fucking killed it recently as far as really putting their content to use, right? Cuz Offspring was very consistent with it, but now we're starting to see a real pattern with, releases and new pieces of content, and Offspring is just thinking of more and more things to incorporate into their drops. But as far as chapter 4 goes, I'd say the shining star for me has got to be the editing, and a lot of this footage, the way it was filmed, it almost seems like Offspring is getting more comfortable on camera. It truly seems like Offspring is getting that much more comfortable filming certain things, doing certain things. A lot of this is becoming more natural to Offspring, which is super dope. And of course, every track in this edit is produced by Offspring as well. Songs used are available. Everything is in the description as well. I mean, come on, like Offspring has been absolutely demolishing everything recently, so well fucking done. Well done. It makes me excited for chapter 5. It makes me excited for new releases. I'm just really happy that Offspring has moved into this new direction of, short form content, long form content, using those pieces of content to, support what they're doing in music and their art and their website itself, right? So, well fucking done, Offspring. I love what you have going on with your platform. I do. 100%. And I've always had faith in it, and I can't wait to see where it goes, honestly. So, if anything you can take from Offspring, man, is the work ethic, right? Like, Offspring really does what they love and what they enjoy and what their heart is in, right? And that's all that matters. So, huge shout out to Offspring. Keep doing your thing, homie. Much motherfucking love. Make sure you subscribe to Offspring Mysterious on YouTube. We got a whole lot of stuff on there. 10 away from 100 subscribers. He actually reached 90. Let's fucking go. Let's go. 10 away from 100, man. Lots of tracks on there, visual edits, full length series, short chapters, a whole lot of stuff is on there. Go show Offspring some love, and of course, make sure you follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. Offspring is approaching 900, another fire milestone, 13 away from 900. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And to subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We are approaching 70 subscribers on the Music Mondays main channel. We upload 2 times a week, exclusive podcast segments, full episodes, exclusive tracks, trailers, a whole lot of good stuff's going on the channel, man. So go show the channel and these artists some love. So let's get it, chat. Let's go. Thank you, homie. You're very welcome, Offspring. Thank you for the submission, my friend. Keep fucking doing your thing. Keep doing your thing, my friend. I can't wait to see where it goes. So, we absolutely killed it tonight, chat. We literally fucking killed it tonight. Like, with that said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted tonight. Anybody that came through showed love. Per usual, we'll be tweeting out the top 3 artists of episode 91 later on tonight. Yeah, man, let's fucking go. Tonight was a banger. Tonight was a real fucking banger, actually. Yeah, man. Lots of stuff happening in Music Mondays. Like I said, for the next like 2 weeks, make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled on Music Monday socials. We have two, well, technically three, really big drops and events coming up for you guys. Specifically producers and vocalists as well. So lots of good stuff coming up for Music Mondays. We're just tying up a lot of things in the back end, making sure everything's good with these next drops, and really trying to make sure that everything is squared away, you know? So, with that said, and like I always say, make sure you follow All Music Mondays on all socials. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Follow the Twitch channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok, Tumblr. Join our Discord. It's a very, very active Discord. Everybody's collabing, promoing, talking shit, shooting the shit, doing whatever they can in the Music Monday Discord, man. Come join us in the Discord. So yeah, let's fucking get it, man. That does it for episode 91. We'll be live next week for episode 92. Submissions will be live tomorrow. Next week, I think we'll have more of a sort of a conversational episode. We'll touch on a few topics of underground politics, you know, the latest underground news, things like that. And if there's any suggestions that you'd like to see go down on the Music Mondays channel, feel free to drop it in our Discord, send me a message, send the Music Mondays Twitter a message, send us a message, let us know what you want to see on the podcast, man. Workshop Wednesday and Feature Friday will of course still be happening this month as well, along with our brand new events within the next couple of weeks. So keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned, make sure you follow us on our socials, man. And that does it. So huge shout out to everybody that came through, showed love, and submitted. Huge shout out to anybody that came through and followed the stream as well. Genki, Void, Ivica, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the streaming family. Huge shout out to anybody that came through. Mark, Cole, Ivica again. Huge shout out to Offspring, Bloodcat, Apple, Ryuki, Bromo. Anybody else that lurked and chilled that I didn't see tonight, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming through. Lab Grown Fest 2 November 3rd. Hey, let them know, Ivica. Lab Grown Fest 2 November 3rd. Mark your motherfucking calendars. Check out our recent tweets on the Music Mondays homepage, or just follow Lab Grown Fest as well. Yeah, we're also sponsoring the event, so that's why you can check our socials. You can find more information about the event. Pretty much just search our media, man. But more information will be coming on our socials and Ivica's and Lab Grown socials as well. So make sure you follow us for the latest updates on Music Mondays. Submissions will be open tomorrow. If you're interested in being involved in episode 92, make sure you're following us at All Music Mondays there as well. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week for episode 91. Be safe. It's been your boy Zomslays. We'll see you guys next motherfucking week. Take care. Brush your hair. And we'll see you next week.